My name is Carrie Childers. I live in Beaver Creek, Ohio, which is near Dayton, and I'm an emergency medicine physician.
And thinking back to what your life looked like before you started coaching, if you could just outline that in a couple of brief statements for me.
I was teetering between depression or burnout. I thought that I felt like I was hanging on by a thread every day, both mostly personally, but professionally, it kind of spilled over there where I was kind of filled with dread every day, even though I maybe couldn't pinpoint a specific source of dread. I slept too much, I think, because I was just hiding from feeling like I wasn't good enough, like I wasn't doing enough, like I was unreliable. I really avoided making appointments, even for important or even fun things like going to the doctor or getting a massage. Like all of those things, I
Hmm.
felt like I couldn't get myself up and going. And I think that was a pattern that started probably with the being overwhelmed in medical school, and I just kind of plowed through until I got to the point where I'm like, is this going to be my life forever? And so, in kind of a quest to, first of all, deal with charts that were looming over me every day, I was also looking for a way to add more joy to my everyday life, learning to enjoy um, little things that I knew I had, but I wasn't appreciating enough for some reason. It was very uncertain what even if coaching was even going to be the place where I could figure that out.
Yeah. And would you say that had an impact on people around you in your personal and professional lives as well?
Oh yes, my husband, for example, like tries to be understanding when I'm especially tired from working, and so sometimes that led to me just kind of being in the bedroom while my family is doing something else, and he doesn't want to bother me. But by the same token, he will say, like, you never want to do anything with us. We feel like we're not your priority. And so he's trying to respect my needs, but it's not that he wasn't also feeling lonely and left out.
Yeah. And was there a point at which you decided that this has to end now and sought out coaching as a result of that, or what was the trigger for that?
The trigger, honestly, was seeing one of Gail's marketing videos on Facebook where she is appealing to people who feel like their charts are out of control. And I was like, that's me. I feel guilty every day of my life for not having my charts done. It was like a worry every day. It almost was never something I felt like I completed and could stay on top of. And then also I would get kind of in trouble for it, with your um, records management, and your medical directors are like, why can't you keep up with your charts? And so I knew that was something that if I could get a handle on that, wow, that would really take a lot of anxiety away. So that was what led me to coaching, to begin with, I guess, as a way of addressing what I considered a big professional shortcoming.
And were you aware of coaching as a field of practice before seeing that video and finding out about us? No.
I don't think so. I guess I've heard of it, but I always thought of it more in like a life coach kind of way
Hmm.
that felt very frou frou and yoga and meditation. It's like, I need to get these charts done. Okay. So how can we do that? And so that it
Yeah.
was very practical, the practical application of coaching that drew me to it.
And with that sort of lack of experience with coaching before and just learning about it right before jumping in, did you have any doubts or fears about going through the process at that point?
I not sure that I was fearful. I was certainly like, what are we going to talk about for 6 months? I guess I assumed that all of the time was going to be conquering my initial fear that, charting has been a problem for me for 10 years. So it's not going to get undone overnight. So it's going to probably be our focus. That's what I'm going to learn. And I wasn't really even sure what else to expect of coaching, or even expect of myself even more. When you're setting goals, all I could say is like, sure hope I can get my charts done at the end. That was really the only goal I even thought about setting for myself, until we blew past it. And then I was like, uh-oh, now what are we going to do? And I got to be opened up to all of the possibilities that I could have for myself. It took me a while to realize where else there was lacking and what else I wanted to tackle.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about where you're at now.
Well, I was just talking to my mom an hour or so ago while I was out running errands, and told her I had a meeting to discuss how coaching has affected me. And she's like, "You're a totally different person." I said, "Oh, I know I am." And I thought, and she thinks I'm a great person. And I did my best, but I was very much searching for balance and joy, and um, a sense of confidence that I feel like I used to have. And then it got kind of rolled out of me over years, where I was just hanging on. And so she sees me now getting up and going to the gym. She's like, "I'm so proud of you." She sees me um, I go to appointments all the time for like hair and nails. Every time I talk to her, I've just been somewhere like pampering myself. Well, I live with you and do what you do, which is totally different. So she sees me engaging in more like self care and um, doing before, out of feeling like I didn't have enough time, a sense of guilt and undeservedness. So I think where I am now is realizing that I can change parts of myself that I'm not happy with, mostly by recognizing and deciding that I can tell myself a different story about how I interact with the world in that regard. Like if I want to get up and exercise, I can. I would before tell myself, like, I'm not going to get up early and exercise. It's just not going to happen. Don't expect it of yourself because you're going to fail. And now I can say, if you don't want to get up and exercise early, you don't have to, but you can. And sometimes I do. It's a totally different mindset.
Yeah. It sounds like it's had an amazing effect on you personally. Would you say that it's had a big effect and positive effect on people around you as well, both in your personal life and your professional life as well?
I think definitely. And I have a couple of examples. I have a friend who we're often on the naughty list, or at least I used to be on the weekly chart deficiency naughty list. So you get an email that says, here's how many charts you have outstanding. And I was always on the list with probably one of the most outstanding amount of charts. And suddenly I'm not there anymore for like a long time. And so she said, "What are you doing to get charts done?" And I said, "I've learned some techniques through coaching." And she's like, "Huh." So she has addressed hers in certain ways. Like she has one of those microphone stands, which seems to be working for her. It was not mechanical. It wasn't like technique for me. It was a little, but it was my mind and my mental boundaries that really held me down. But people are starting to notice, where's Carrie's name? Because I was like the queen of the naughty list. And I am also, I feel like, not every day, but I am able to, in many cases, hang on to some like happiness and joy during shifts when everyone else is sort of feeling the grind. Um, and that I think I've learned to kind of create a good mood for myself with music that makes me happy, affirmations that keep me positive, and other people around me will say, "Thank you for your good attitude today." And in emergency medicine is really actually kind of more accepted to be cynical and to not have a positive outlook. You're being naive if you're being positive. or trying to be upbeat. Like, you're just wait. It's always like, just wait. It's coming. The rush is coming. The pain is coming. And so that's how we all kind of treat each other. And it totally affects my mood at work to be that way. And I think I can control my mood better and can affect the people who are working nearby me.
That's amazing. And what about the effect that it's had on your family at home as well?
I have tried, especially with the family, to not only spend more time like in their presence. So I don't sleep as much because I don't feel as bad. I don't, I'm not fatigued. I don't feel like I need to hide from guilt and tasks. So I'm with them more, but I also have tried to abolish multitasking when I'm with them, in particularly scrolling through Facebook feeds, doing charting when I'm with them, um, doing chores when I could be like sitting down and actually engaging with them. And so I think they, again, feel what I feel, which is that they're my main priority. But now I think they see it, um, which is what counts for them. Like, yeah, I can say, I love you. You're the most important thing. But what they see is they get me 30 minutes before, when I roll out of bed to get ready for my shift, and then I'm out, and then I'm home after they go to bed. I sleep until past time when they're up to work and school, so they never see me. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's the effect of your shift schedule, but it was for me also an effect of feeling, um, just dreadful and needing to cower, kind of build a wall. And they were really hurting from it. And it wasn't just a short term wall, like it was years that I was
Yeah.
engaging with them like I really wanted to. And sometimes you don't know what's missing until you find it, and you're like, wow, that's been a problem for a long time.
So last question, what would you say to somebody who's maybe watching this video right now and is unsure about taking that first step with coaching?
I would say if you are in a situation where you feel like you're not getting the best out of yourself, um, that you you can start small, and it will often uncover all the possible ways of, um, becoming the self that you want to be. That the old adage, a person doesn't change. Well, they don't change unless they think about themselves differently. I can't change my eye color, but I can become a morning person if I want to be. I can start going to the gym if I want to. I don't have to be the person that makes plans and breaks them at the last minute because I can't follow through. That was who I thought I was. And I was willing to just be that way, but it made me feel bad. And so if there are parts of yourself that you wish you could change because they're not serving you anymore, that can be done. And it takes time. It did not happen overnight. I went through some ups and downs with coaching where I reached a big high when I at first like conquered my charting, and then things kind of went off the rails when I didn't know what to obsess about anymore because I didn't have the charts to obsess about. So, it didn't go in just like an upward fashion. I had to sort of learn, with my coach, what I wanted to focus on and how to channel some of this, um, feeling out of control, into like journaling and into affirmations and things I never would have thought would have been for me. Um, my coach really helped me, pull out what was going to be most effective. It was very personal. It was totally driven by me and what I wanted out of my experience. Um, and I think it's something that could save your career if that's what you want. I like what I do. I just don't always feel good about myself and feel good about the day I have, the presence I have. I didn't want to leave medicine or emergency medicine because I do enjoy what I do, but now I can enjoy who I am doing what I do.